Okay, good morning. Okay, a very good morning, brothers and sisters. Let us start the session for today. A warm welcome to Abode Master, Brother Joe Huang, Hualien Dharma team, and brothers and sisters around the globe to Saturday Hualien Dharma Talk. Today, we'd like to share on this. Stand bravely, strive diligently. This is incepted from Master Chenyan's speech during the Heartwarming dialogue with volunteers from Taipei on 21st June 2025. Prince Siddhartha made a firm vow to seek the path, to explore how to transform a life. Only by relying on oneself can the directions of life be steered beyond personal effort. One should also inspire others. Everyone must strive diligently and summon inner strength. Do not sit in despair, questioning the heavens in silence. Why am I different? Why am I poor? Instead, rise with courage, persevere to break through, and work diligently towards the path of the goal of your life. Now let us send our silent prayers into the 10 directions. May the Saha land be free from disasters and peace prevails in the world. Let us sing the prayer songs with sincere piousness. May all minds be purified. May there be peace in the society, in the community. May there be no disasters in this world. Together we pray for universal love and blessing. With loving respect, gratitude, and confidence, let us wish every person in our lives a healthy body, an enlightened mind, and a total fulfillment in universal love. Now let us expand this consciousness to include every person in the world, every being in the universe. Let our unified love make this wonderful world even better. Let us all immerse ourselves in the joyful embrace of universal love. Before we hear the wonderful sharing review of Wondrous Lotus Sutra, let us invite abode masters to lead us in paying homage to Triple Gem. Let us pay our respect for these teachings and explanations to the Buddha, Master Cheng Yen, by making 3 sincere bows. Please rise, palms together. First bow, second bow, and third bow. And a bow to our beloved abode masters who could join us today. Ka'an Sư Phụ. Okay, there'll be three sharers for today. Brother Joe, Huang, followed by Sister Chi Wei, uh, Cecilia as well, and Brother Allan as the third speaker. Okay, let us move on to the summary from last week, prepared by Sister Ching. She has something on today. I'll read on her behalf. Okay, the last week by Sister Ching, Sister Ya Ying saw a meal and a spark was born. Students dining vegetarian, a quiet change has dawned. With corporate hands and schools, Tzu joined the call. Together in April 2024, a project to benefit all. Children cook and learn, sharing thoughts and arts. Awaken to earth pain. Change begins in the heart. From Taipei to the USA, seeds of action spread. New voices rising, where one silence lead. The earth is sick, yet hope is in our hands. One plate at a time, healing broken lands. Skipping mid-meals, trees grow in numbers unseen. When carbon is reduced, the skies grow cleaner and green. Cows alone could rank among nations that pollute. So youth speaks loudly, their message resolute. Create hope with each bite, a vow we renew. Protecting life's future depends on me and you. Master Huang, what is more precious, soil or gold? Why and how do you know this fact? Master Huang asks, which holds more worth, soil or gold? Gold shines with power, wealth, and stories once told. A couple wrapped gold built Hualien's healing place. Gold turns to bricks, easing worry into peace. Soil sustains life, unseen yet mighty in role. Storing water, carbon nurturing body and soul. Children creates wonders with recycled art in hand, resourceful and bright, reshaping values of the land. A boy with green fingers earned through honest toil. Tzuchi's eight, sorry, Tzuchi's eight lifted his dreams from humble soil. He entered high school agriculture as his choice, hard work and gratitude guiding his steady voice. All things are fleeting, yet hope can still rise. Greed fades away when wisdom opens our eyes. While gold may glitter, soil secures our shared earth. With soil we saw compassion, with soil we birth new worth. Sister Ivona has the third sharer from last week, from visitor to volunteer, the power of a Jingsi tour to awaken hearts. Jingsi Hall stands as a treasure to many years. Travelers arrive through Xiao Hongsu and trips advisors ties. Brother PS and Sister Kampong lead the late flame. Guides were nurtured, their missions always the same. Hands-on teaching, stories flows like living streams, linking master's wisdom with heartfelt dreams. A team of mentors patiently guiding the ways. New volunteers gather, learning day by day. Stations unfold, the story hall, sutra hall, grand, environmental corridors teaching care for the land. Malaysian halls recall community bonds so near. Global pavilions show footprints across 5 continents here. The sutra halls ship carries beings to the shore. Dharma ramps and galleries inspire hearts even more. Visitors leave touch, their kindness flowing deep. Karmic vows guide us. The seeds of Dharma recap. Okay, over to you, Sister Effie, as the MC. Cảm ơn.
Yeah, cảm ơn to Sister Wang Ching for the opening, and good morning, brothers and sisters. This is a beautiful Saturday. Now we will invite dear Brother Joe to give the Dharma Insights teaching to us. Over to you, Brother Joe. Good morning.
Okay, good morning, Sister Effie, and good morning, everybody. Wonderful. It's wonderful. Like Sister Effie said, it's a wonderful morning, and we're back here again online and do our diligence. We are once again back, and so it's I think it's wonderful in that today is the 15th of lunar 15th, and we have once again is the day where we are doing our prayers and thanks. We're doing our prayers and thanks to all the unseen beings around us. And in the Chinese custom, it is customary for us to have laid out much of the offerings. And Master had, over the years, in the past 2 or 3 decades, have been telling us that it's actually much better that we become vegetarians, so that the true offerings are in that we offer our compassion, we offer our sincerity, and it's not about what are the things that we offer, but it's rather the act of offering itself does not sacrifice more lives. Otherwise, it was sort of counterintuitive. It's countering what we're trying to do, which is trying to offer our thanks to all the beings that have helped us and along the way. So I think it's a special day, but at the same time, it is something that we should do every day, which is to have our thanks for all the things that's happening around us. All right, so last week I was in Malaysia and had the opportunity to meet many of you. I'm very grateful. Yesterday I had the opportunity to report to Master, and I recounted the story once again of how all of this started 10 years ago, and ever since it was blossoming because of all of your help, because of all of your diligence. All I did was I prepared the material and I shared, but it was up to you to spread to many different locations, and to spread to more people, more English speakers. And I think this is something that we are very grateful for, and I'm very grateful for that Master pointed us to the direction and we followed. And it was actually a very good path, and we're very thankful for this. I also get to meet many of you, and we had that very special morning where I was there were those that were sharing, and I think that was very heartfelt. Many things that I've been grateful for the past 10 years. Thank you all. And so we're continuing, right? We're continuing on our Sutra of Infinite Meanings. And I think that this is something that it's worthy of our time. And it's also something that's very valuable. And I hope that we could take this opportunity to always be reminded that it is among the people that we will find the true sutra. And among the people we go, and we will learn, and hopefully with enough wisdom and good people around us, that we would have the opportunity to be awakened and enlightened. And I think we will learn among the people, and we will learn in this journey. And along the way, thanks to all the people that were our partners along the way, I think this is something that's very valuable. And even though this path and this journey is somewhat lonely, but I think lonely in the sense that you sort of have to overcome your challenges alone, but you get a lot of friends and family around you to really help you along. So I think thanks to Master, we have a group of family and who has been together for almost a decade. And I think this is something that we should be very proud of. All right. So let me continue on to today's sharing. And we are heading into the Sutra of Infinite Meanings. Previously, okay, so we actually have covered the entire chapter 1 virtues of the Sutra of Infinite Meanings. And that's about 1/3 done already. So we're reviewing for all the 11 sections that was in the chapter 1. We know that in the first two sections, we talked about the Dharma is the answer for all sentient beings, and it's also for the future. And this is something that we should be very aware of, that this is something that's going to go on and continue on for ages. We are going to be the one that carry on the torch. And then we see the great students of the Dharma, the students of the Dharma, and we are one too. We might not be as accomplished as some of these very, very well-known and famous disciples of the Buddha, but we ourselves can also achieve greatness if we were to just to follow how these students of Dharma learn and practices. One of the most important thing, I believe, in this turning of time is that Buddha is telling us that we should become the teachers, and we should be aware that it is our job to become the teachers. It's not just becoming a good student where you learn to cultivate and you learn to get rid of your afflictions. That's not enough. I remember Master once said that it's no longer enough that you are a good person. You have to be the teachers of good person. You have to be the spreader. You have to spread the ideas of becoming a good person. You have to make other people good as well. And I think that's what sections 5, 6, 7 is talking about. It's turning the turning point is that it's telling people that we have to become sentient beings' great guiding teacher. But that is not hard, that is not easy to do. And so there were some examples that were given. These are the teachers of Dharma, and they are going to carry on the mental by becoming the teachers from who they are, which is the students. So it's not easy. And one of the things that you need is the mindset. You have to have the mindset of being the teacher. Otherwise, you would not be able to become the teacher. Imagine today that you would have to give a talk at the end of my session, and the content is what I just talked about. I think you will be in a very different situation than right now. If you're a student, you are just listening. You're taking in all these sharings at your own pace. Most of the time, something that will strike you, it will stay. And other times, it might stay and it might just fly away. And as in my experience, something that you hear a lot, even though you're able to sort of, you agree with everything that was said, but when it becomes your time to share the same content, you realize that there is not much that you recall, that you're able to put it into complete sentences. And that is very true. That is very normal. And therefore, the mindset has to change. The attitude has to change. If the mindset does not change, then you're still learning as a student, then you will not be prepared as a teacher. So 8, 9, 10, 11, the last part of the chapter 1, is really the praise for the triple gem and the 3 forms. So we talked about this. So we talked about the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha, and these are the praises for the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. And specifically, the Sangha, I believe that is talking about the Sangha being the holder of truth, because they themselves do the cultivation and do these spiritual practices. So they're the holder of these knowledge and wisdom. And there's also going to be manifestation for such cultivation, right? You learn, you are enlightened, and you sure are going to look different. You are going to act differently. That's the manifestation. And because you understand the truth, because you understand the wisdom, therefore, and you make the vow, you learn to become the teacher. Therefore, you are no longer just the holder of truth, but you're the teacher of truth. And I think this is very important in that in order to be the teacher of sentient beings, you need to be liked. You need to be liked. You need to be accepted by all sentient beings. And therefore, you had to have good affinity. So all these things go hand in hand. You need to become a holder of truth, understand the wisdom. You need to have the manifestation, that means the good affinities associated with being good and being kind and having the good affinity with the sentient beings. And when you have both and you're prepared to teach, then you will become the teacher of truth. In section 11, it talks about taking refuge in all the triple gems, right? So all the Buddhas manifest three bodies. That's the Dharma body, the reward body, and the form body. And I believe that the triple gem actually coincide with the three bodies. The Buddha refers to the reward body, the Dharma refers to the Dharma body, and the Sangha refers to the transformation body. And what that means is that the Sangha, or the transformation body, what that means is the Sangha appears in a way that was accepted and required and needed by the sentient beings in order to learn. And that's what we talked about. The Sangha, they themselves have cultivated and manifested this wonderful, wonderful image where it is liked by the sentient beings because of good affinity. And because Sangha is also the student of Dharma. And if they study hard and if they're prepared and make a great vow, they will also become the teacher of Dharma. So that's what we talked about. So now we move on to the next part that we want to talk about. So the Sutra of Infinite Meanings, it's really 3 chapters, and we have finished chapter 1. So today I wanted to talk about the Wondrous Lotus Sutra, as we have done last time in August. There are a total of 28 chapters, and there is a Sutra of Infinite Meanings comes before the Wondrous Lotus Sutra. And we've been talking about the importance of becoming a teacher. And now we're going to head into the Wondrous Lotus Sutra and then figure out why it is the case. It is sort of like looking into the future, right? Into the future, why we always talk about importance of being a teacher, that this was mentioned in the Wondrous Lotus Sutra, so that we know that it was mentioned in the Wondrous Lotus Sutra, so that when we come back to read Sutra of Infinite Meanings, we can now connect what was going to be said later to what we are studying now. And so we're heading into the Wondrous Lotus Sutra, which is the past and the future, and we wanted to make sure that it's connected in that the past was the Sutra of Infinite Meanings, and we're talking about the importance of becoming a teacher. And then the future, which is the Wondrous Lotus Sutra, is how you become a teacher. Buddha actually teaches you. So Sutra of Infinite Meanings tells you the idea of the importance of becoming a teacher. And then the Lotus Sutra tells you how. Tells you how you become a teacher. Tells you how you can pass on the teachings. So the overview here, we're talking about chapter 1. As always, chapter 1 is always talking about the settings, the context, who were there. But more importantly, this is a turning point. All these people are bearing witness to this turning point where the Buddha is declaring that his end is coming. He is about to enter to nirvana. And the more important thing is, now there's going to be need for more teachers. It used to be only the Buddha as the main teacher, but now we're going to be needing more teachers. And so these are all people that's bearing witness to this. And this is important and has happened in previous incarnations as well. You can imagine that every time that the Buddha is about the past, that this is the same thing that will happen. The Buddha will once again tell everybody the importance of passing on the Dharma. And therefore, every time there's a different Buddha, in all the Buddhas across the world and time, they will speak of the Lotus Sutra. Now, somebody had asked me before, is this Lotus Sutra the same for all the worlds? And I would like to say that the Lotus Sutras are actually indeed different. It is as if, even though we have different universities teaching people the same subject, but they would have different curriculum. They would have different material because it's in different world and it's in different context, right? The universities in the US are going to teach math in the same content as the universities in Malaysia. However, even though math everybody learns is the same, but the material that they offer, the content of the textbook, and the way that the professor teaches are going to be very different, depending on the culture, depending on the society, depending on the school. So therefore, I believe the Lotus Sutra carries on this very important idea, which is to make sure everybody becomes a good teacher after this. This is the sutra that teaches how to become a teacher and trainings, practical trainings to become a good teacher. However, different schools obviously will use different textbook. Different schools will have a different program, and this is the case. So I believe the Lotus Sutra in all the different incarnations of the Buddha and in all the different worlds and in all the different times, I believe the Lotus Sutra has the same teaching, but it's going to have different material. I hope this actually makes sense to all of you. You know, this is like people in the West teach math differently than people in the East, right? However, doesn't matter where you go, math is still the math. Math is still same. 1 + 1 still equals 2, but it depends on how you teach it. And people from the West and people from the East are going to teach it differently. Lotus Sutra, I believe, is the same. Different worlds will have different Lotus Sutras, but they will all have the same subject matter, like math, okay? So what this is trying to say is that Buddha was once in the audience as well. Like all of us. Buddha was once like us, learned student as well. Yet the Buddha has already awakened and enlightened to the Buddhahood. And I believe this is telling us that we have the same responsibility and we will become the same as the Buddha if we work hard, if we work at it. So chapter 1, introduction of the Lotus Sutra, basically tells this. All right, so we move on to chapter 2, skillful means. What does skillful means mean? Well, in chapter 2, this is where Buddha began preaching directly at Sariputra, which is the foremost in wisdom as the disciple of the Buddha. The Buddha began preaching, and what Buddha said was that the teaching is infinitely profound. Only the Buddha can understand and no one else, not even Shariputra, which is the wisest disciple. Now, what does that mean? It means that it's not, the wisest student, the wisest student is still not enough to become the teacher. You still need to have, wisest student is not enough. You need to have faith in yourself. You need to have faith in the teacher, and you had to be willing to become the teacher. So I think that was what the Buddha was trying to say. The teaching is infinitely profound. You cannot possibly learn all of it if you're just in the role of a student. And I think this is what Master said all the time, that if you're just focused on learning something, for example, trying to get a degree, That's you can do research into it, but you'll always remain as a researcher. Master wants us to become the practitioner, somebody who takes action. And when you take action, when you actually begin teaching, when you actually begin teaching and figuring out what goes through and what doesn't go through, what works and what doesn't work, then that's where you begin to learn more about the teaching itself. We ourselves can understand the teaching. Does not mean that we ourselves can teach what the teaching is. And by being able to interact with all the students, you have to make the teaching using your skillful means to convey it in a way that they can understand. And therefore, this teaching is infinitely, infinitely changeable, even though it remains the same. Mathematics remains the same, but you have to change your way of teaching. And I think that's very important, okay? And skillful means talks exactly like this. Buddha challenges his wisest disciple and said that not even you can understand all the teaching there is, because you are only a teacher, you are only a student, and you have not made the vow to become the teacher. You will not understand the true teaching because you only understand it yourself. You haven't tried to teach to others. You know, it's like you understand 1 + 1 = 2, but you haven't taught any student yet. And therefore, you don't know what the problems is facing the other students. Why is it so hard for them to understand 1 + 1 = 2 or 2 × 3 = 6? You understand it yourself. Doesn't mean you can teach it to your students. And therefore, this teaching is profound. It's more than what you understand because you need to interact with those that have lesser capability than you. You understanding yourself doesn't mean that they understand it, and you have to teach it to them. Okay? So if it's so difficult, how do you learn and teach? You have to want it. You have to want to do it. And it's not just through learning, it's through action. So how do you do it? Through action. That's where the Buddha inspires Shariputra. In fact, this inspiration is so strong that Shariputra said, I want to learn it. I want to. It's not the teacher that's teaching to me. It's the students that are now inspired to want to learn. Okay, so that's one of the things that I believe is also part of skillful means, is that the Buddha made sure that the Shariputra was inspired to want to become the teacher, not just because the teacher told him to. It's because the student themselves want to do it. They need to take action and not just learning in the words. And I think this is a very important part. Now we're heading into chapter 3. So chapter 2 sort of makes the transition. It begins to tell you how. It no longer just tells you that this is something that you need to do. And it no longer just tells you that this is important. But now it begins to tell you how. In chapter 3, we are now into parables. And this is the whole idea. There are people that are going to have lesser capabilities and capacities than you, especially Shariputra, because he's the foremost in wisdom. And therefore, the Buddha says, make sure to use stories and parables. People learn much better and easier when there are stories. And that's what you need to do. And therefore, the Buddha used the parable of the burning house. And I think in this parable, there is some very key observations that we should make. That should be very important. In the burning house, the house is on fire, and the small children refuse to leave. And they refuse to leave because of many different reasons. Most of them do not realize the fire. And some of them don't think the fire is dangerous. And therefore, oblivious to the danger, whether it's not knowing the fire or don't think the fire is dangerous, they don't want to leave. because they're also playing the toys that they like. So the father or the elder learns through observation. He tried to warn the children of the fire, but he realized, number one, that they do not see the fire, or they do not imagine the fire to be dangerous. And he tried his hardest to explain to the children that fire is coming and fire is dangerous, except the children do not learn and refuse to accept. And therefore the elder thinks, I need to adapt. By merely telling people that the house is burning is not enough, because they refuse to accept it, because they're so entertained by the toys. Therefore, the elder has to use a different way. And that way was to try to entice the children to get out of the burning house on their own will. How do you do that? By having the toys. So once again, this is using the story to tell you how to become a teacher, and then put it into practice by doing this to Shariputra. The same thing. You have to inspire the students to want to learn. Shariputra didn't. He thought he understood it all. He thought that there was all the things that he needed to learn. He already learned. He was going to become like the Buddha. And then in chapter 2, in skillful means, that's when the Buddha break it to him and said, no, you will not understand the teachings because you are not willing to learn the next step. And for you, you will never get there unless you are willing to learn more, unless you're willing to become the teacher yourself. That's when Shariputra himself said, I want to learn. I will not be the disciple who has not learned all the things that the teacher wants to teach us, right? So he was inspired and he was trying to learn this. And he even asked the Buddha, please teach us 3 times, even after the Buddha rejected him 3 times. So you could understand that this is exactly what the Buddha did. If the student did not want to learn on their own, they will not learn. It's called, you have to be actively, as a student, trying to take in the knowledge and wisdom. But if they are passively taking it in, it will not stick and you will not belong. And therefore, that's what this is all talking about. So the elder in the story observes that the kids are infatuated with the toys. So he knew whatever he says is not going to work. It's going to take a lot more effort. And he observed and he adapted and he used the toys outside to lure the children out. So that's the one key of becoming a teacher. You observe and you adapt. You change according to what your student needs. And you have all these different deposits of stories, of stories and experiences where you can share with the students. That's the important part. All right. So we're going to stop here. And this is where I think it ties all back into Sutra of Infinite Meanings, that you had to become a teacher, the great guiding teacher. But Lotus Sutra talks about how. It teaches you the way of becoming the good teacher that Buddha needs us and wants us to be. Thank you, and we will see each other next week. Thank you.
Yeah, cảm ơn to Brother Joe for giving us the Dharma teachings this morning. Let the fragrance of the Dharma permeate in our heart and mind. And listening to Brother Joe this morning, the recap of this Lotus Sutra, chapter 1 to chapter 3, we feel joyous and aspire. Cảm ơn to the wonderful summary of the Dharma insights. Before Brother Joe leaves us, let us take a photo to record this moment. Cảm ơn. If it's convenient to everybody, brothers and sisters, please switch on your video for a group photo for this moment of your footprints for this morning. Cảm ơn. Brother Joe, we are all down with flu. after August studios. Got it. Okay, everyone, I will take a photo now. Okay, Kak An, Brajo. Kak An, thank you for the wonderful insights. Now, our next speaker, sharer, is Sister Cecilia Ong. I believe she's in Nepal now, is it? Good morning, Sister Cecilia. She's very dedicated and devoted to carry on Master's mission in transforming Nepal. Yeah. So without wasting, let us invite Sister Cecilia Ong to share her insights here. Kak An.
And Sister for the introduction. Good morning, everyone. And I'm deeply grateful for Sister Xiao Qing to invite me to join your sections. And thank you that we are managed to gather here on Zoom. Thank you so much. So without further ado, let us start the story in Lumbini, the birthday of Buddhas. So today we are mainly focused on talking about the woman over there. Many women quietly carry the weight of early marriage, limited education, and daily hardship in Lumbini. Yet within these challenges lies a quiet strength inspired by Shangren vows to rebase the Buddha homeland with compassionate inactions. We have come together to offer more than just a sewing lesson. The initiative is a space of healing and growth where each stitch becomes a symbol of dignity, resilience, and renewed hope. This is a map of Lumbini. So please wait for me for another short moment. I'm worried my line will be poor. So can I turn off my video for a short while? Thank you.
Yeah, Kak An.
Thank you. Okay, in 2018, when I first arrived in Lumbini, what struck me most was seeing women sitting on the ground everywhere I went. And we actually feedback the situation to master, and Shangren told us that we must help them to stand up, and share many examples of how Taiwan transactions from an agricultural to an industrial society. In July the 2022, we established our local office, and 2 months later, the sewing class began. Today in Lumbini, our sewing class are held across 4 locations as you see from the map, from the main office to community center and learning hubs. Every day, we have 150 women and girls walk out from their villages to learn sewing skill and come into contact with Tzu gradually discover Sangren compassionate missions. Next. We never expect that the projects we carry out under the guidance of Shangren would align so closely with the UN Sustainable Development Goals until we were invited to attend the UN Commissions on the Status of Women early this year. At the conference, there was an arts expo showcasing unique handmade craft by women from around the world. So we decided to take part in the art expo. Before heading to the event, we sat down with the women and had an open conversations about what kinds of products they wanted to bring to the international platform. We shared with them each item could carry their voices and reflects the spirit of their community. Next. We share with them on taking up the role of the goodwill ambassadors and help them on throughout the whole process. At the end of the day, they choose 13 items, including woven grass basket, eco-friendly bags printed with ginseng aphorisms, aprons, and cotton totes bag. Actually, each of the products carry the story of a girl and reflect Sangren's hope to help to shape a meaningful parts of their life. Next, through this item, we are not just sharing craft. we are trying to tell the story of Ciji. So we move on to another, the next PPT. This is Gloria, and she is one of the attendants to that event. She was deeply moved upon hearing about the struggle faced by the women in Lumbini, and even more so by Sangren's unwavering resolve to support the girls. Yet, as she reached for her purse, she realized that the cash she had bought was not enough to meet the moment. And so she left with a heavy heart. Next. After lunch, we suddenly saw a familiar figure, and it was Gloria, back on the side. Next PPT. She had returned to the hotel to get more cash and determined to purchase the items she had set her heart on. Her only wish was to take part in Sangren project. She said, Tzu transformation project in Lumbini isn't just about helping the local women and girls to earn an income. It is about helping them learn how to shape their own life. And that kind of change takes time. And it needs studies, long-term support through real action. So she decided to come back to make the purchase. And next. Another woman in the picture is Peggy. She attending the event. She is actually a survivor from the wildfire of Los Angeles, and she received help from Tzu at that time. In the conference, she saw our uniform and came over to meet us. When she heard about the charity work happening in Nepal, she bought a basket handmade by the woman of Lumbini. We told her that all of the sales or getting from the day would be donated back to support the wildfire recovering. Okay, next PPT. Everyone was coming to our so-called like store or our counter to listen of the story from the woman of Lumbini. And two young girls overheard what we said with Peggy, and they are curious. They were curious. How could these women who rarely leave their villages even know about the wildfire in LA? That's when we began to share about the humanistic training the women receive in the sewing classes, and thus they know about what is happening at the every corner of the world where we have volunteers. Everyone at the site are moved and willing to support our projects. This is not a matter of how much we sell on the day in the expo, but many of those participants who never hear about Tzu know us. And next, same as like in the sewing class in Lumbini, everyone who never know about Shangren or Tzu came together to do something good, and kindness quietly made its way into the village. Next. And now I would like to invite every one of you to go through our journey by sharing Anita's story. Anita, she is 32 years old, married and a mother of two teenage sons. Next. Her husband worked at the dialysis center run by the International Buddhist Association. Next. 7 years ago, Anita was diagnosed with kidney disease and had to have her left kidneys removed. Her elder son, now 16, lived with a congenital heart condition. With only a primary school education, Anita once felt limited by her circumstances. At first, she didn't want to learn sewing. She didn't even know how to hold a pair of scissors, and there was no sewing machines at home. On top of that, she was married off at 16, and soon after her children were born. With household filling her days, she couldn't imagine having time to learn a craft. But once she joined the sewing class, things began to shift. She first learned how to use scissors, then how to draw sewing pattern. Slowly, she started to enjoy tailoring and discovered a new sense of possibility. Next. We brought Anita along with us for a home visit. we met an Amma who was going through a very difficult time. Her daughter-in-law had been in a serious accident and was hospitalized. Her son had gone to stay by the wife's side, leaving the household facing a food crisis, and the daughter-in-law's conditions was still uncertain. Next. The Amma daughter-in-law got her sari caught in the threshing machines during working in the paddy field. It pulled her in, and both of her legs were caught in the machines. Next. The doctor said she would need to have them amputated, and the Amma was deeply worried when we visited her. Next. Because of her aging and difficulties on moving, Amma felt very sad. She held us tightly and cried out her heart out and cried her heart out. Next. Anita quietly listened to Amma when Amma shared her pains, and tears welled up from her eyes. Finally, we decided to support Amma daughter-in-law, assessing the medical aid and ensure the family had essential food provision. Thanks. So Anita knows the whole process, how we deal and how we comfort Amma and how we make the decisions to help the families. Next. She said, when I saw Amma slowly come down from her tears and begin to smile, I felt truly happy. In witnessing suffering and recognized blessing, she experienced a deep sense of Dharma joy. Next. Anita often said she's grateful to Sangren for giving her the opportunity. She no longer wants to live like she did before, drifting through each day in a daze, sleeping so much that she felt groggy and lost. Next. From not knowing how to use scissors, and now Anita is a qualified, national qualified tailor. She get a tailoring license after we put her to sit for an examinations conducted by CTEVT, is the National Technical Education Vocational Training in Nepal. So this is a journey Anita never imagined she would take. Next. What mattered most is that even after losing a kidney, Anita understands how to cherish each opportunity and turn it into kindness and service. Next. From a childhood without complete schooling and a life confined to kitchen, Anita embodied the fate of many women in Lumbini. Her transformation is now a mirror of possibility of countless girls. Next. And Anita's story is a proof that change is possible. Her journey is more than her own. The personal growth of Anita reflect the key stages in the development of the sewing class and the methods everywhere we all out to try to help the women in Lumbini. And the final PPT. Sewing class was more than just stitching a fabric. It was teaching of stories, hopes, and futures. Though the result may seem small today, they are seeds of dignity, creativity, and self-reliance. Thank you for the heartfelt reflection of this morning. And as like Master Sangren remind us, every little bit of effort now becomes the fruits we reap tomorrow. And what we are sharing today, whether through stitches, stories, or any silent support, is a part of larger tapestry of growth. Thank you for inviting me again. So thank you. This is all my sharing for this morning.
I got to
Thank you.
Sister Cecilia for giving us such a heartfelt sharing and the transformation of the women folk in Lumbini. Very touching to hear the story of Anita. We still have plenty of time. Actually, Sister Cecilia time is till 7:30. So we know that Sister Cecilia is a very good, is the director of a recent Buddha's Bathing Day in Lumbini. Because of her, we have a very memorable Buddha Bathing Day in Lumbini Hall. Not only she can transform the women work in Lumbini, but she's also very good in managing Australia. And so now we invite the floor to send your questions to Sister Cecilia, because there's still plenty of time here if you want to know more about Nepal and the works done by Sister Cecilia and the team in Nepal, in Lumbini especially. Anyone? Anyone from the floor that you want to know more about Lumbini? And because Cecilia was there ever since Masters say want to transform Nepal, 2022 already set up. Anybody here? Any sisters?
Yeah, hi sis. Maybe we can open up to the floor. If you
Yes.
have any suggestions, then you can share, so we can take into our projects or our plans in the futures. Yes, we still have sewing class and sewing production floor. This is what guide by master that not only like skill we are giving them, but we are trying to bring them up from sitting on the ground so that they can the independence one day. We have about 30 of them who can start to work and make uniforms for our distributions to the school's children's. So we are open to hear from everyone on how to make good the project and how to make the project successful. 感恩.
Brothers and sisters, this is the time, because now Sister Cecilia in Nepal, Lumbini is 4:45, 4:45 to 5. It's very early, so Sister Cecilia give us take her time to give us this wonderful sharing and insights.
Sister, I'm okay. Actually, I am in Penang now, but because one of my uncle passed away last few days, so we will have a morning service this morning. So I can stay for another few minutes, then I may have to go later.
Okay,
I'm sorry about that, but I'm truly grateful for Xiao Ching to invite me. And I just get to know about that. All of you are so Jing together in search in the morning of Sunday. It's a weekend. So this is
every
things that I have to learn from you all. Thank you so much.
We look forward to hear from you in the future.
Thank you very much. I think if I have time, then I will grab the opportunity to stay with you on Zoom
Okay.
next week. Yeah, thank you.
So, brothers and sisters, please seize the moment. You have any questions or you want to add on?
Yeah, sister, I think there are questions in the chat by Brother Allan. How is the sewing factory, and can Sister Cecilia share more on this factory, this sewing factory stories?
The sewing factories. Yeah, we actually lend a space in one of the school in Lumbini. So we put all the machines into a space where we can more focus on concentrates on develop or build the skill for the woman, not only through sewing, but we try to instill with more knowledge on how to operate a proper factories and train them from how to say, not only on sewing, but skill on stock management, on how to deal with customers and how to deliver a quality products. I have some experience on doing garment factories because I'm from this field, and my family run a small factories in Penang when I was young. I was young, and I has been in the industry for more than 30 years. So I post some experience on how to run a garment factories. So I'm trying to transfer all I know or my knowledge in order to build the woman over there. And this is still very humble start from now. So it's still a very long way for us to go forward to move on. So we are open to hear everyone advice and to share your experience or to give us some creative ideas in order to make it good and successful. It's like I mentioned, yeah. So a lot of things happen over there. We will collect the stories and hopefully we can share with all of you in the near futures or yeah.
Any more questions?
There are two more questions at the chat
Yeah.
box.
Okay.
Okay, one is Kaana's sister Cecilia. Okay,
Mm.
one is are the women underemployment after the sewing class, and what is the biggest challenge faced so far in this activity? Kaan.
Yeah, we have 71 of graduate now. We are not going to hire everyone. They have to go through certain interviews and skill tests before we can take in into our so-called like production line. And actually, 35% of them, the aim of coming to the sewing class is not to gain a skill to get a job. Their hopes are to get a better marriage or to get a better husband. I will be very direct. So they are very simple. The hopes of a woman in Lumbini were to marry a good family so that they can have a better life. So 35% of them, they are aiming at, as they are not going to school or they are not able to have a complete education. So they hope that through the sewing class, they will gain a skill certificate so they can marry to a better family. So 35 of them married. Then another 35% of them, they are actually housewife. So after the graduation or whatever, they just hope that they can make cloth for their family, make uniform for their children, that's all. So we take out another 35 of them to our production line now. And I think 10% of them, they are actually school students. They are very young. They are about 15 to 20 years old. So most of them, they are still in primary school or in college. We are not paying them under a monthly basis, whereas we are doing piece counts. Means that if they sew one piece of uniform, then we will pay them by the pieces they completed with a good quality. So 10% of them hoping that they can earn from the what they can earn from making the uniform, then they can pay their school fees. And maybe another few of them in our sewing production lines, they are aiming to so-called like make sustain of their family living. And some of them, they are actually hoping to so-called like gain more skill actually. Yeah, we are not actually selling the products because it's a school uniform, but you can support us by donated to the International Fund of Relief. So one set of uniform, the cost is actually about 30 to 35 ringgit, but we are selling it at 40 ringgit because we still have a lot of handling fees and transportation. 40 or 50, I can't remember. Maybe I can let Sujin know in the later stage of afterwards. So you can support us by donating or take up how many pieces of uniform you would like to support. Then we can put the fund into the project of the sewing class in Lumbini. Thank you, Kan Eun.
Sister Cecilia, there's a question saying that who are the buyers in Lumbini? Any
Oh.
buyers, local buyers for the products?
Good
sold by the
questions.
women?
Now Tzu is the main buyer because we need the uniform to distribute to the school. So we make it. Then we paying them the uniform cost, right? The sewing cost. So we are actually support them in a charity way. But now we start to, as we have the opportunity to go to UNCSW, so we get to know a lot of NGO working in Nepal. So we start to deal with them because they are doing the similar things as like we are doing. So we get in touch with a couple of NGOs, and now we have one of the NGO IBS is the International Buddhist Association in Lumbini, who support us as well. So they buy the uniform and they distribute to the school at the hillside.
Karen, there's
And
another question saying that the fund is banking into the international
relief.
baht fund.
Yeah, yes.
You have the bank account to provide us later.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
I think there are many interested brothers and sisters here.
Thank you very much for giving us courage and motivation.
Okay, Karen. We want to be part of it also. Yeah, Karen.
Also,
Any other questions from sisters or brothers here?
Good morning, Sister Effie. I think there's one more question in the chat that says, to Sister Cecilia,
Yeah.
what is the biggest challenge, Sister Cecilia, in this getting this activity up to now?
Yeah, the biggest challenge will be the language barrier because we can't speak the local dialect. Then even the people we are getting from Kathmandu, they speak Nepali, but the Lumbini people, they speak their own dialect like Hokkien or Cantonese. So the Lumbini people only know the Mandarin, say like for example. So we still have barrier on communication. So we have to work together with them in order to show them what we want. We can't live or we can't share through PPT or movie. They cannot capture the concept we want because they can't understand what we want. So the thing is the most challenging part is communication. But we can so-called like overcome those difficulties with breakthroughs through working together with them. So we have to show them. Then we have to be very mindfulness or be very careful of what we speak, how we act. Even a small gesture or depression on the face, we have to be very careful. They will see, then they will feel. So what we want, then we have to train ourselves to be very disciplined or very precise or so because they will copy what we are doing. So did I answer you?
Yeah.
I
Wow,
think
very, yes,
Uh,
very much so. Sister Cecilia. So much for the sharing.
Another question Sister Cecilia. Are any of these women, the people who are in the sewing class, are there any one of them are care recipients of Citi?
Some of them, yes. Some
Oh,
of them, yes. So once they come into the sewing class, right, then they gain the income. So we will reduce our aid of food we giving.
I see.
In Lumbini, we are trying to go through a method of help with cashless. We don't provide financial aid directly. So what we give is like food to make sure that they are not suffering from hunger, they don't have food crisis. And secondly, it's like we want to build them in a way of like to be independent instead of just by giving. Because most of them, they are not so-called like in a critical situations where they can't stand up by their own. Poverty is the main scenarios that we found. Then secondly, maybe we are trying to figure out more. Maybe we can work together with Sister Siu about the community situations, like maybe alcohols or drinkings of additions of alcohol is another elements contribute to poverty. So we don't provide cash directly. We provide food. And the second things we look into it is how to make them independent instead.
Okay. I already time. Okay. To Sister Cecilia for such a wonderful interactive session with all of us here, and we learned a lot. And for those who are for brothers and sisters who are willing to or wanting to support, I think the details will come up from Sister Ching later on. Sister Cecilia.
And everyone,
we are very grateful.
Thank you.
For the day. Yeah. Next, we shall invite Brother Allan Chan to share with us. His topic is about the joy of sharing. Yeah, Kak An. The floor is yours, Brother Allan. Kak An.
Karen, sister Elfie, and the rest of our brother and sister online. I think we met we all know each other quite well already actually. Okay, so can I present?
Sure, Kak An. Sure,
Yep.
brother.
Thank you. So today is just a simple sharing about myself and okay. Thank you very much. Everybody, I think should be able to see my slide. Okay.
Yes, brother. Yes.
Thank you, Sister Elfie. Okay, good morning, everyone. My name is Allan Chan. This is actually my journey and also my topic of the day, which is the sharing of agenda on recycling. So basically, I would start off with a basic of my background and after that, then we go into the main section of the sharing on the recycling. So my name is Allan Chan, Chan Borong, given name, I'm from Malaysia. I was introduced to Churchy in 2015 and I signed up during the PCPC. And in 2019, I was certified, become a professional. Okay, my home sister is Jun Chao. She also become a commissioner in 2023. My children are studying Churchy International School or actually have graduated. As you can see, we actually enjoy ourselves in immersing in Churchy event, different type of event like flood relief, earthquake, public donation, and also even graduation ceremony in Ching Hall. My family are on the right hand side. Just for information. Okay, on my journey. 2015, I joined the Mandarin Parent-Child Boarding Class. 2016, I joined the Jinjiang and the Desa Park Recycling Center, whereby I learned the basic of the recycling as a starter. So 2019 was commissioned. So Hualien, recycling actually bring me to a few center, and I actually can feel the warmness of the different center because we are able to learn so much from all the brother and sister over at the different section of the recycling center. I didn't realize this initially when I was doing recycling for about 4 to 5 years. I didn't understand the significance of sharing and education because I felt I was able to help the neighborhood to maintain its cleanliness. But upon several years of practice and then the passing of my mentor, I pondered whether I have the strength to continue forever. And thus I started my recycling sharing journey. So just some of my notable journey was 2017. I was in Bukit Bertajam helping out with the major flood cleanup. 2019, I was also doing the essential volunteer in Jingse Hall. 2020 food bank. 2021 Sri Muda major flood relief. 2023 I joined the Yeater Parents in TCIS KL. Okay, I think there's not much. Any question here? Anybody have any question? If not, I will continue. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Okay. My passion to do recycling and actually to help Mother Earth. I found this to be actually a very notable idea with a real benefit since my young age. I actually been searching around for recycling initiative for a while. It's just that during my younger time, actually my middle age time as well, I did not find anything that is very relevant or that is very long term and it's very committed to the recycling and also not so robust. So and also I realized that okay, my knowledge is limited and my initiative was not so much. So my area of even my area collection point is not mentioned clearly, and most of the collection site was limited in the size and collection type. Tzu Chi volunteer actually have given a great effort to create a conducive location to actually assist a lot of people. So I actually started 1 or 2 times at the recycling point, every third Sunday. Then after that, I moved to the Jinjiang because I was free doing that on the Sunday, sending my kids to all their classes. Then I come over to Jinjiang, do about an hour of recycling. Okay, so just for information, talking is my forte and my passion, while recycling is my mission. Combining both attributes has helped me actually to give my opportunity to assist Mother Nature in recycling mission. The reason for my sharing is to create a public awareness because, fairly speaking, every time we meet with new people that's come, they are not aware of a lot of items about recycling, such as me. So we try to teach and also to guide them. So another one, of course, is the new volunteer recruitment. Here we actually can help, number one, to recruit new volunteer in the sense that new public come in. We persuade them to actually engage with us and come to the closest recycling center at their home to actually help build up help the recycling center there. And also it's a good reminder for me, or if there is anything that as I forgotten or I have mistaken. So actually Chuchi provided me a very good many platform, not just good but many platform for recycling sharing information. I've been using it during the new volunteer training, whereby the new volunteer training they have gone through the theory in Ching, but when they come over to our recycling center, then they can actually see how we do on a different level or a different, because as everybody here, the recycling center of each district is slightly different. Each neighborhood recycling center is slightly different. So we will have an opportunity to actually to share how our recycling center is different and how we actually help the neighborhood. Of course, there's a lot of corporate ESG initiative. Every month, we are having at least 2 to 3 sharing. Even yesterday and today later after this session, we'll be doing another sharing with one of the corporates. And also school and education center. We are quite well known at the moment for a few center now in KL are quite well known for doing sharing to the schools. So we are one of them. So we also we try our very best to actually assist the children to understand about the recycling and also how their living lifestyle can how to reduce the recyclables and the impact to the mother nature. So as you can see, I've been using the platform as the recycling center and using the Mallory Center as well as third points and third recycling point on the every third Sunday. As you can see, on the right hand side is roadside third Sunday recycling point, and you can see it's actually under the shade. The good part is this walkway. One part is a public park, another part is the kopitiam. It's a very famous kopitiam. So basically, everybody who go to the park for their morning walk or morning jog, they will walk past this walkway towards the kopitiam. So on average, we get about 50 to 100 passerby. So this is where our opportunity or affinity is given, that we try to, number one, give them an indication, oh, we actually have every third Sunday we have a recycling point here, number one. Number two, we will put our items, the recyclables on one row, so we can actually show to them just for a glance, these are the items that we collect, so that give them an idea for recycling. Yes, recycling can actually be done like that, very simple. You just collect the item, and at least they will bring over. So and we also promote some of the Jing activities when they are passing by, like our recent the 7 Lunar month Philippa IT session, and also like our blogging. Okay, moving on. Bright idea. We are nurturing the future generation by planting a seed of discovery and understanding to all the participants over here. As you can see, we have small children on the left. We have adult college. This is medical college first year students. In the middle, we actually have recycling center. These are corporates. Because of the number are very small, we actually have put it down. We have a small cozy session with them and do a lot more explanation to them. Then in actual fact, there are many misconceptions on the 5R, whereby recycling should be the last option, but to majority of the participants, they are thinking should be the second or the first option. Very few very few of them know about the impact of the human catastrophe, like just throwing a rubbish out of a car window can cause sea life disruption, and importantly, flash floods in our urban area. So this is also where we actually explain to them, if you're how to change their lifestyle a bit. Few thousand participants also know more now about the microplastic existent in our human body and the potential impact on our health. The last one is natural compost in our orchard by Mr. Mark. As you can see on the left hand side, you can see one for the public is actually teaching the students, children about organic compost. So he will come on every Saturday to swap the compost to allow it to air the compost so they can actually absorb the oxygen and then do the natural process. So this is one of the highlight of our recycling center, because they are able to I was able to tell them in actual fact what you know about compost, they produce a lot of methane, but this is the natural way whereby methane is minimized. So not much methane is actually produced when we do the compost on the proper way. So on conclusion, recycling is actually a journey of discovery. To save oneself is to expand the joy of the Dharma. We should believe in future in humanity to protect the Mother Earth. So cleaning up environment is by nurturing the future generation should be the correct way. So do I have time? How much time do I have? Okay. I would like to share also my sharing slide, if everybody is okay. Any comment?
Can go ahead, brother. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Sister Elfie. Okay, so as usual, as every recycling center have a different way of presenting their sharings. This is actually this is my sharing for the Desa Park. If any school students or corporates they come for the tour. So this first slide, coexist with Mother Nature. Of course, we show them our home, our earth, and then we ask what is the pollution. And here you can see land, air, and water. In actual fact, in Desa Park, we also have sound pollution. So some of them are very good. They will know about the sound pollution. So of course, we show them the picture of the sea with all the rubbish. And this is updating from one of our sisters. I will show them also the our Great Pacific Garbage Patch, and I'll explain to them that this is the size of Singapore, etc., and explain to them that the major producer of this patch is actually one of them is actually Malaysia. See, Malaysia is actually in the top 10. So I show just a picture, and then this is just a collection from one of the rivers in Johor. And what does it affect us? How do we actually take it? A lot of people did not realize, beside food, a lot of the media is emphasizing actually on the food, but in actual fact, anything that is in contact with plastic, it has actually a potential to cause the microplastic intake. So like your drink water bottle, your tapao the container, or even the baby bottle after a year, there is a potential for it to degrade. So the microplastic can go in. Of course, inhalation. That is a one good question that a lot of the students, or they have a very pondering about inhalation. How do you inhale plastic? So in Malaysia, one thing we like a lot is to drive cars. So when you drive cars, the tire is actually on the road. So when the tire is on the road, and you will wear out the tire within 20,000 kilometer to 40,000 kilometer. When you're wearing out the tire, there are plastic component inside the tire, and it will fly around. It will fly because the car, when they drive by, the air will push the microplastic to fly around the roads. Okay, what I can do, I explain to them. Of course, we tell them about the 5R, and then the three major person, very famous people who can actually dedicate their life to refuse. We'll also explain to them left and the right hand. This is brief because what we usually do is we will, after the sharing is completed, we'll bring them to do the recycling itself actually. So say no to single-use plastic. We also show them some pictures. What is the single-use plastic? How to reduce it? And the type of plastic there is. And some of the pictures, these are very old picture, but it's still significant at the moment. And also this one we also collect. Our sisters actually give us opportunity to use this diagram to show them a basic understanding, but of course we will not explain further if they need. It give them awareness. This slide give them awareness to search online. So 5 trillion, 10 ways of using less plastic in your lifestyle. And of course, we will push, I would say we also emphasize vegetarian actually will help us, besides reducing our plastic, also reduce our water consumption, and also reduce the stress on our mother nature. Okay, we will ask our participants to take a pledge to join us together to save Mother Earth. Need their hand, and of course, we explain again what are the activity that we do. School recycling, company recycling, recycling center, recycling point, and of course the blogging. I will explain that most of the recycling center is actually on the passive recycling, but blogging would be on the active recycling, whereby we actually actively move around the community to collect the plastic bottles, or even clean up some of the small rubbish of the community. So this is our slide, and this will be our last slide here. So any question at the moment? If not, that would be my ending. Thank you very much. 30 minutes, okay.
Cảm ơn to Brother Allan for the wonderful sharing on this recycling. We can see that you are enthusiast, very passionate about saving the Mother Earth. Cảm ơn. We gained a lot of knowledge today with all the slides that you have prepared. Yeah, cảm ơn. We still have time. Any one of our brothers and sisters here would like to interact with Brother Allan since this moment to interact with him.
Good morning, Sister Happy. This is Stephanie. I just want to say kudos to Brother Allan for holding fort in the Xinjiang area. Now, because normally after we do the talks at the Jingsi Hall, right, and most of the school tours, they will go to the Xinjiang recycling station where they will be given the guidance and also experiential learning on the recycling. So today, seeing Brother Allan in action through his sharing, really feel that wow, the children are really exposed to a lot of great learnings and be able to plant the seeds of love for the environment in each and everyone that passes through the recycling education center. So I really very感恩 to Brother Allan and the team for holding forth, and a great job, really. 感恩哦。
Cảm ơn sister.
Through this sharing, only I know that Brother Allan, because we are different communities, through this sharing, only I know that Brother Allan is so passionate. And when he give any briefing, it's always you won't fall asleep. You enjoy his sharing, his briefing too. Yeah. Any other questions from brothers and sisters here? We still have time. Another 9 minutes here. Anyone?
No
Or
worries.
Brother Allan, you have any message that you want to pass to us beside those slides, those information?
Join the recycling experimentation tour training, tour guide training tomorrow. Not tomorrow, later at 2:30 actually.
Okay.
You know, the Jingsetang, they have the recycling experimentation training. And basically today they are doing the training for the tour guide for all the different sections. If anybody here would like to know more about how the recycling education, I think you can actually join us at 2:30. Of course, you need to register first. I think with Sister Yvonne here. She has the list, and hopefully more people actually can join us and learn more about how we can take care of all the public when they come over to our Jingsetang to view all the recycling movement. Correct, right? This is Yvonne.
Today training can just walk in at 2:30 to the yoga room, Jingsi Hall, first floor. It's too late. I mean, we're just gathering the English speaking volunteer for the class. I'm just helping, but the training will be held by the Green Action Coordinator lah. I'm just helping to round up all the English speaking volunteers. So if you have not registered and you're interested, please just walk in 2:30 yoga room, Jingsi Hall, Kepong, first floor.
Cảm ơn Sister Yvonne. Yeah. Brother Allan, there's a question in the chat box here. Do we know any other organization doing similar initiative before starting or any organization that we can work with? That's a question in the chat box.
In actual fact, your Finn, sorry, your sister Finn or brother Finn? Brother, sorry, hi brother. So basically, there are actually many organization out there, whether is it profit or non-profit. So at the moment, we do not advertise ourselves. You can basically they will contact our PIC from our Facebook, and then they will discuss with the 金石汤 同仁 to ask for a site visit. But we do not actively go out to do recycling sharing because we are non-profit, and also we like them to have more experience of the recycling. If you go there, it's just purely theory. My brother, Brother Jam. No, but we do get inquiries from profit companies, because a lot of company now, they do a lot of ESG. So a lot of corporates, they do not have the understanding of ESG in terms of the environmental side. So a lot of consulting companies they are actually offering this side. Just for information, a lot of Malaysian banks like CIMB, Public Bank, Maybank, they do know about Tzu, and they actually send their departments or their committee related to the ESG and the recycling to our center. I think either Jinjang, Desapa, and also I think another BT. So basically what happens is we will give them guidance, and also we will give them explanation, and if possible we give them the physical sorting out the item, because when during you do the physical sorting, you can actually explain more when they feel the item on their hand, they can actually feel more, and they have a very it's a two different level of education. Instead of just word by word, now you actually feel the products, and also you can actually test it. Then from there we can straight away just explain to them, and we can even take out another two items that look similar but it's different. So for them, at least their insight has go slightly deeper. When their insight is slightly deeper, they have a more confidence to actually express themselves back to their management, back to their company, or back to their colleagues in their companies. Okay. There's any other questions?
Oh. Okay, we still have a little time. If not, Brother Allan, I saw the fish outside our Jingsi Hall. It's a main attraction. People are curious of what is it about when the passers-by our Jingsi Hall. So can you share a little about that fish? Is it a fish?
It's a whale.
Beautiful, a whale, yeah.
A beautiful whale made by 20 over 30 volunteers. Actually, is number one is to attract people from the roadside. The main purpose, I would say, is to attract people from the roadside to actually come in to take a nice photo of the whale, and give them an opportunity to actually walk into Tang for us to explain further about the different type of recyclings. There is a meaning, because the whole wheel is actually made from recyclables in terms of the outer layer. The structure, of course, we have to create. The structure, of course, have to be created by professionals. But everything, the outer layer is actually using recyclable, so they can actually see how beautiful the recyclable are, and also how they impact. So that's where they are invited to come into the Tang to experience more about the recycling.
Great.
Okay,
Kak
thank you
En.
very much.
If no other questions, we shall end our session today. Kak En, Brother Allan, for the wonderful sharing, and I believe we are more we gain more knowledge into what is this recycling about Kak En, to save Mother Earth. Kak En. Now we shall pay homage to Triple Gems before we leave for our daily chores today. Kak En. Let us pay homage to the Buddha and Master Sangren by paying 3 bows. First bow, second bow, and a third bow. And a bow to all our board fools today. Okay, Kak En, brothers and sisters, for your participation in this morning Saturday Hualien English Heartwarming Talk. Kak En, hope to see everyone again next Saturday. Kak En, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Just Kak En, Brother Allan, all the wonderful sharers, Kak En, and brothers and sisters, Kak En.
Okay.